meeting to order. Ready? We ready to go?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. I put out an agenda this afternoon, so I'm just going to go with that. So I'm calling the meeting to order and welcome everybody. And as far as what I wanted to start with tonight was the proposed amendment to the club bylaws, which we talked about last summer, actually, where we split the secretary treasurer position into two separate positions, a secretary and a treasurer. So we've done the due process on that. All we have to do tonight is vote whether we want to actually add that amendment to the bylaws. So all in favor of adding that amendment to the bylaws? Aye.
I
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. All right. So that's good. Now we can try to elect a secretary and a treasurer. So we had a person volunteer to take over as president, and we announced that last year at the expo. So it's time now. So we're going to go ahead with the elections. So what? No? Okay. So
You're hearing Sarah in the background. She's being snarky.
and,
She doesn't realize she wasn't muted.
okay. So
and Janet, real quick too, before you get into it, I've also created a poll on Zoom, so we can make it anonymous, like you and I discussed. So right before the meeting, I've created a poll that I could share to the screen, and everybody can pick their votes for those spots.
Okay.
But before we do that, do you want to hear from everybody else?
All the other members, you mean? Or just
Well, we have two people on the call that are nominated for vice president, and I don't know if they've accepted those nominations or not, but if they wanted to speak on behalf of that role.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Sure. That sounds good.
Okay, John's already unmuted himself.
Do you mean campaign?
Yes, if you want to campaign against Luke, now's your chance. Or we can have Luke go first because he's younger. Luke, would you like to say anything about running for vice president?
Sure. Well, now that the secretary role has been stripped of the treasurer role, if the other gentleman really would want to be VP, I'm fine with nominating myself for treasurer. That doesn't matter. I just want to help out.
That sounds like two birds with one stone to me. I like the sound of that.
No, that is good. Yeah. That's awesome.
We never get that efficiency in TAO.
Change my survey now to reflect that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it works for me if everyone's okay with that.
What if we elect Luke for vice president and treasurer?
There you go.
And secretary.
Briefer.
Sorry.
What? We need a sergeant of arms too, I assume, if I would guess.
That's you, Dave.
Right. Oh, that's me.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, because you are the driver of the trailer.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay, so John, did you accept the nomination for vice president? He's acting surprised, like he doesn't know he was nominated.
Fine.
Okay, I think he's accepting. So what I can do then, we have one nomination for president, one nomination for vice president, one nomination for secretary, and we don't have anybody currently for treasurer that's been nominated. So what I can do is I'll share on the screen the poll.
So I thought Luke said he wanted to be the treasurer.
Yeah. No, he wanted to be secretary, didn't he?
No.
Or treasurer?
Treasurer.
Treasurer.
Oh, I guess I'll have to fix that. Sorry, Luke.
Oh, John's already dropping the ball.
No, I'm just trying to force hands is all. Treasurer, and then I'll do secretary. And then reorganize this. So that's it. I will just reorganize this real quick, move these, and I will share this on the screen and everybody can vote. So polls and quizzes, we're going to share this one, launch, and this is anonymous.
Oh,
So on your screen, you should see like a quiz. I don't think I see it on mine because I'm actually hosting it, so I might have to do it separately. But should be able to vote, and it says other because I can't leave it blank. So please just vote for the person, not the other category. Looks like it's working because I've gotten 3 results so far.
It's working. It's great.
and go down to treasurer.
And Dave and Lisa, you guys are unique because you're both on the screen together. So you're only casting 1 vote technically, but that's okay. I don't think in our situation and current capacity, it's going to make that much of a difference.
I don't think so either.
All right. I've got 8 results. How many people are there? 1, 2, 3, 4,
You
5,
got to
6,
go
7,
down,
8,
honey.
10. Is there 10?
I can see.
Can you get it to go down over
here,
there?
got it.
We
There
have
you go.
12 people, and I don't think I can vote because I'm hosting right now. So we have 9 done so far.
And then submit.
Lisa and Dave sounds like they're just finishing up. 10. We might be missing 1 more. Oh, there's 11. That's everybody. So I am going to end the poll and I can announce the results.
Okay.
All right. In a landslide, we have 11 votes for president. For myself, I'd like to thank everybody for voting for me. It's an honor. I appreciate it. Vice president, we have, again, unanimous by a landslide. John Warford, welcome to the podium. So thank you. I appreciate that, stepping up for that and accepting that nomination. Secretary, we have nobody, but I think we did have me. Oops. If maybe somebody wrote in another name, I'd have to check. I'm just checking here real quick. Anonymous. Yep. So nobody put in for secretary, which is expected. And then Luke, congratulations by a landslide victory. You are now our treasurer.
Yay.
Congratulations to everybody and Janet for getting this meeting set up so we can
Thank you very
make
much.
this official.
Yeah. No problem.
Thank you guys for stepping up.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So, do you want to give an incoming presidential report now, or do you want to wait till toward the end of the meeting?
Oh, I can do it now while I'm riding high. That's good.
Okay.
I don't know what I'll say. But no, I did write a little bit of stuff down just in that I never thought I would be in this role. When I joined this club 12 years ago or whatever it was, like I've told Janet, when Lee Sisko was going out and Jerry Wilson was coming in, I remember sitting in that meeting at Dead on Archery downstairs and just, okay, this is me getting back into archery again after taking 10 years off. And I remember telling Alex Martin that, I don't want any capacity as like an officer or anything. I just want to be a member, because every other thing I've done, from sports to my art community, I've quickly found myself in a role of president or be it whatever. And all of a sudden your passion becomes a job and it's no longer fun. Well, Janet asked me, and not in desperation, I don't think, but hey, can you be my vice president? And I felt like I was letting Alex Martin down because I was never his, officer or anything. But I was like, I think now's the time. I've been with the club for 8 years. And I think initially I started doing newsletters and things and kind of just revamping little things in the background because I had the experience redoing our club flyers. And these last 2 or 3 years as vice president have been great behind Janet. She leads with kindness, which I think is really important. I hate to follow behind somebody that, was mean, but I'm definitely a stickler for rules. I'm a very organized person. And I think moving forward, I don't want to say the club's going to change a lot. If anything, all I'm really striving for is, one, always keep this club going, but really it comes down to communication. I just want to be able to communicate with all these people, get our messages across, what's important to us as members or individuals, and how the club can help push that envelope forward. And be that through, we'll find out if email's the best, if our website's the best, if it's social media. We're going to kind of narrow that scope so you can really talk to people how they want to be talked to. Second thing is membership. I don't want to just drive up membership just because. I want our members to be important, and I want there to be perks or incentives to being a member. We've talked about the discounts on the website, discounts on shoot fees. I want people to want to be members of this club. When they show up at an event, that's great, but I want them to be like, you know what? I'm here. I also want to be a name on this event. So that's what I'm striving for, is membership as well. And lastly, just simplicity. I think that's something I've really been pushing in my time here, is just not cleaning things up, I would say, but just making things more efficient. That's how I work in my day to day. If there's not a quicker way, but a more efficient way of doing something, I'll do that. I've redone our website. I've redone how we capture payments. I built the online store, organized our email inbox with auto rules and things. So it's just, again, simplicity. I want people to be able to show up and the work is already done. That's not going to happen the targets don't set themselves up, but I'm aiming for simplicity and really making this as easy as possible for anybody that wants to come to a shoot or an event. It's there, done for them. So I don't want to say bringing traditional archery of the ancient era to the modern era. It's just technology is what it is, and I'm going to embrace that and make it easy for everybody. So that's my soapbox. I'm thankful for the opportunity, and to be honest, I've said this out loud. You got me minimum 5 years. I'm not stepping away for anything less than that. So, and it's tough to say with, kids in sports and baseball and, my son with his medical stuff and who knows, but I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. And I know, looking at the faces on my screen, that I've got a great group behind me that's not going to let me fail, not going to let me fall. So thank you.
Thank
Soapbox over.
Okay. And Luke, the Secretary Treasurer report, just for the treasurer, the club balance is $7,666.12. So we'll be turning that over to you. You'll have the job of paying bills and whatever. I mean, that's not that going to be that difficult. Thank you very much, Sean, and thank you, Luke.
And John.
Can we go to the director's reports now?
We have Ray.
Ray's the only person.
Yep. Nothing to report from the Magic Valley.
Okay.
Windy. It's windy and
Warm. Who'd have thought?
Got a little bit of snow, so maybe a little rabbit hunting tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, Dennis texted me earlier today and said that he wasn't going to be able to make it, but he'll still continue to participate. So I typed up the upcoming shoot dates. I see Dave here. Any news about the Trad Madness coming up February 7th?
Only that we're putting things together, and I think I've got most of it all set up. We'll have some homemade awards again for the Dragon Slayer. This year's rules for the Dragon Slayer award is that the person that wins the award is the one that hits it the most times and is the last man standing. Because last year, Lena killed the dragon on the first round, and everybody wanted to keep shooting.
Okay.
So pertinent information.
So at any rate, that's it. We hope to see lots of people show up.
And Dave, by the flyer, it sounds like you got approval for that lights out candle thing.
Yeah. Oh, there was some trepidation. I did promise to use battery powered candles, so we don't, put real candles on a cardboard wall. And I have tried it. I think we can have 5 people shoot at once because we got 5 bays, and then it's going to be whoever's closest to the candle wins. Or if more than one person actually hits it, then we have to have a shoot off.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to it.
All right. And we've got the Northwest, thanks, Dave, Northwest Traditional Archery Expo coming up in Pendleton. We've got Jim and Bob here, and Sean and myself. And so people that are involved in getting that going, it looks like it's going to be awesome. Registration. Do you have anything to share with the club on that, either of you?
Bob, do you? We've had a few changes to the announcement. They're not major. They're just
those are just typos. They were on there at the beginning. It's Sean reading my chicken scratch.
Well, that's Jim.
So, no, thanks, Sean, for putting all that together. Get registered, share it with your, the membership with everybody. We want to see as many people as we can be there. A lot of the same vendors as last year. I think Thunderhorn Archery is coming out this year. That'll be a new vendor with their bows and quivers, and I think Selway's coming back, and Wes Wallace, and of course Pat Lopez. Everybody will be there, so it'll be a good time. Having the same dinner as requested that we had last year, which is pretty good. We got a longbow wood arrow world champion as our speaker. We're doing a speaker this year. I know last year we kind of did the traditional bow hunters Hall of Fame. Jim's going to be doing a presentation on the inductees for this year for the traditional bow hunters Hall of Fame Saturday afternoon. And we got, several seminars, Matt Starley, on elk hunting and tree saddle stuff. And we got Andy Ponce on wood arrows, and Steve Savage is doing a kind of history of the compressed cedar arrow. So it's going to be an awesome weekend. So tell everybody and get everybody out there and get registered right now, tradarcheryoregon.com.
Yeah.
And I think Jim and I just wanted to come on here and thank Janet. I know how much work goes in being a president. Well, I don't, because I'm not the president. I'm just the field governor. But working with Riley and Janet over the years, it's been a pleasure. And I know it's hard to find people that'll step up and put in the work for traditional archery. So always a pleasure, always smiling, always happy, and always up for my crazy ideas. So I really appreciate it, Janet.
All right.
I'll just add on a little bit to that.
You guys
again giving Janet a big pat on the back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's been incredible to work with, and will continue to be, just a little different capacity. And I think that going back to when we first looked at the site there in Pendleton and did a lot of brainstorming on what could possibly fit where, and ultimately upgraded the facility, which obviously Bob had a big part in as well, and Riley Savage. But yeah, Janet, don't be surprised if you get some sort of an embarrassing honor at the expo. So you darn well better be there.
I am, or we will. Yeah, I'm going to drag Bill along.
Good. Yeah, Bill's been a huge asset as well over the years. So, and it reaches, I think, beyond the expo. You've always really been good about promoting our ECTA shoot there in LeGrand, and very extending and welcoming of our group coming to your state for shoots. And so anyway.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I was looking at the expo information today, and you had told me, I think Jim or maybe Bob told me you were going to have a blanket shoot. And I thought, well, we're going to Pendleton. That means you're going to sell a Pendleton blanket, right? And then when I looked at the description of what it was, it's like, bring your old archery gear and put it on a blanket, and you could sell it. I think that's an awesome idea. I had a different concept of it when we were talking about it. But,
sure.
But anyway, yeah, that'll be great to have a blanket shoot. So that's different from the blanket shoot we have at New Meadows, where we score and we get to pick a prize. This will actually be an opportunity for people to sell some of their old archery gear.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's kind of confusing. So
it's kind of confusing.
We have the blanket shoot on Sunday, which is that everybody brings something, you put it on a blanket, score, just like we did last year.
Right.
A blanket sale, they call it, I guess.
Okay.
I have not been a part of this. Riley knows about it, and several of our other members. Apparently they do it at the Kalamazoo show back east. So Riley wanted to call it a swap meet, but I just felt like that was I didn't want everybody to just bring junk, and sell trinkets. But it's basically all those tables we had out in the middle that are for dinner that are just sitting there all weekend. We're just basically telling guys, I guess what a blanket sale is. You just bring, bows you have that want to sell, maybe some old camo, quivers, handmade stuff, kind of personal stuff to sell. They do it at the Kalamazoo Expo on Friday every time they do it. And I guess it's a pretty popular thing. And I've actually had a couple people call me and ask me about, hey, I got this bow, I'm like, yeah, bring it and sell it. So hopefully it'll go well. Just trying something new. We'll see.
No, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anybody on the call, I've put it in the chat, a link to the expo right now. So you can go on there and register. I think it's $45 for the whole weekend. And then on our website, I've added it as a navigation bar on the top. So if you go to idahotraditionalbowhunters.com, there's a link that says Northwest Traditional Archers Expo. Click on that, it's gonna take you right to TAO's website where you can register, see who all the vendors are. So if you can't, or if you haven't, sign up already. I know I need to still. I'm just waiting to book my hotel, and then I'll be there. But you can share it with your friends, family, all that stuff. Let's fill that place again.
Well, and actually, the registration is only $15 for the
True.
week, 45 for the dinner.
For the dinner.
So yeah,
And that's just, I mean, you guys know, because we split the profits. We don't really make anything. It's just to try to get everybody together and grow. Like
right. It's just such an awesome event, you know. I hope that it'll just continue to grow and grow, because it's definitely a lot of fun to get there, and there's really nothing like that happening in this part of the country.
Yeah.
So, and another question I had on the camping info: can you camp in the parking lot by the convention center like they did last year? Because So that is not listed on the thing. So do you pay for that when you go?
Yeah. Yep. We'll keep track of that, and I think we paid separate last year for that too. When you get there,
yeah, I think it's on the website. You can pay at the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's it's electric, but no tour. 30 some bucks a night or something for the electrical, or you can just camp dry out in the parking lot. So.
Okay. That sounds good. All right. Any other things and about the expo and
where is everybody staying? Where's everybody lodging if you're not camping?
Well, on the flyer it shows those are kind of the two main hotels everybody's been staying at: the Oxford or the Hotel Pendleton. The Hotel Pendleton's downtown, and the Oxford it's downtown too, but not like the old town part. So those are kind of the two hotels. They're the hotels that we've offered discounts for before, codes, but for some reason this year they wouldn't give us a discount code. It wasn't that much off. It was like $10 a night or something. They're pretty cheap hotels, and they're nice and clean hotels. So yeah, those are kind of the two we listed on there that we know are good hotels that people have stayed at before.
Thank you.
Yep.
all right. So what is the spring fling traditional shoot? I think we've talked about that at our previous meeting, and all of the applications are in, and it's going to be a 3-day event. Now, Friday setup, Saturday shoot all day, Sunday you can shoot on Sunday, and then targets will be picked up on Sunday afternoon instead of Saturday. So we get a little bit more time. And we need to talk to the county about putting some campers in that parking lot. That's normally, not a Fish and Game parking lot, but the county has permission. We have to get permission from them, which hasn't been a problem in the past for 1 or 2 campers, but we might want a few more if we're going to have it go through the weekend. Okay.
Well, yeah, I plan on setting up a tent again for the entire weekend. So, yeah, it would be nice to know that we can actually do that.
Okay. So last year, I think Lisa called the sheriff. Is Lisa gone now, or did she go?
Yeah, she went dancing.
Okay. Well, we can call her and see if we can get that arranged, or just arrange it ourselves. So
Yeah, and that get the bathroom cleaned out again, probably. I guess that was nice to.
Right. Okay. And then the Bowbirds and litter pickup, I didn't notice that was on. Is that on the website, Sean?
I don't know. I'll check right now.
Okay, that was scheduled to happen on the 28th. And Wayne said that we could come over to their place and do the Bowbirds at their place and do a barbecue again like we did last year. So that looks like that's all kind of good. So Jim, what is the date for the shoot at LeGrand this year?
Oh boy,
last
didn't
year-
it pass? Let me grab my calendar here.
Last year it was Father's Day. Father's Day this
Well,
year is on the
it's
20th.
like the 13th.
Okay.
13th for where does the weekend fall? Like,
Second weekend of June usually, huh?
It's
It
12,
is the
13,
second-
14.
That's what it is.
The 13th, 14th?
Yeah.
12, 13, 14. Yeah.
12, 13, 14.
Okay.
Do you know when
Yes.
we'll be able to get in? Is Wednesday again or?
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know
Okay.
if we know on that.
Okay.
Alex New, who's been, he's our connection with the gun club. He's running a little bit behind now. Some of it's work related, some of it's a pregnant spouse. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll get that specific known soon, Dave. So we know
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. Great. Yeah, because a lot of people in the Southwest region like to come over there.
Oh, we love to have. Yeah, I mean, it works great.
Mhm.
It wouldn't be much of a shoot without the Idaho contingent.
And then there's the North Idaho Father's Day Rendezvous, which happens the following weekend. That's the 20th. And then the Meadows Valley Traditional Rendezvous will be the following weekend after Father's Day. The 28th is the last day of it. But what we talked about at the last meeting was actually starting that shoot a little bit earlier. And because of the conflict with all the shoots that we could do, the cleanup on those weekends, we're going to schedule the cleanup on June 23rd, which is a Tuesday. So if you come on Tuesday, June 23rd, help with the cleanup, you can set up your camping and you can camp for the whole week. You could just stay there. We'll get the porta potties in probably on Wednesday. Maybe we could even get them in on Tuesday then. And have it be more of a 4 to 5 day event instead of just the weekend. So we'll start setting up the targets actually on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. Any questions about that one?
I was just multitasking. Real quick, what was the dates of the Rendezvous at the River?
Rendezvous at the River is the 12th through the 14th of June.
June. Okay.
And then
I added the Bowbirds to the website and I've just added that temporarily.
And then then on Meadows Valley Traditional Rendezvous, we need to add that the cleanup camp date is June 23rd.
Okay.
And that you can come and camp at that time. So that's a Tuesday, June 23rd. And so people can be there all week. All right.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. And the Idaho Traditional Bowhunter website, which Sean is working on as we speak here, has all the information. And it's got the applications to sign up ahead of time for the expo. And he's working on the flyers for some of the other shoots. So so that's about all I have to say. I'm just turning the meeting over to our new president, vice president, and treasurer. Thank you, guys.
Well, I've got an advertisement here.
Okay.
This 10 days, not 2 days from now, but the next weekend is the Northwest Bowhunter Classic in Caldwell, which is put on by the Nampa Bow Chiefs. And I'm signed up for the 7 o'clock in the morning one, and I was hoping that maybe some other traditional guys would be interested in coming and shooting, so I'm not so lonely.
What day is it, Dave?
It's the Saturday and Sunday the next weekend. I forget which date. I have to look at my calendar to know what date that is.
Uh-huh.
see what is today anyway? Today's the 8th, 9th would be Friday, 10th, so 16th, 17th, or maybe it's 17th and 18th.
I'm pulling up the shoot card real quick, and I'll drop in the chat. I got to go pick up our shoot cards.
So Saturday is the 17th. Is that it?
17th. Yeah, 17th. Well, 17th and 18th. I'm only shooting one day because for me it's a recreational. I'm not that competitive, but it's kind of a blast. It's indoors, so you're not freezing cold. There's a bunch of people there, but they've all got compounds, and there's a few guys from the club who are barebow, recurve shooters who are there. So this year there's a whole sign up where you sign up for a line time and a target to start at, and it's hopefully organized because last year there were so many people it took forever to get done. So I think that's the motivation, is to try to make things go a little bit smoother. But I have no idea if there's any other traditional archers shooting at the early shoot, and the maybe half dozen people that I know of are already booked on the 11 o'clock. So there's a 7 o'clock line, meaning you start the course at 7, and then another one that's starting at 11, and then I think 4 in the afternoon. Which, according to the meeting yesterday, there was lots of space available on the 4 o'clock one. I suspect there's space available at 7. The 11 o'clock's pretty full. But at any rate, I was hoping to entice some other traditional shooters to come out and keep me company.
Well, thanks, Dave. Both Tom and I are going to be teaching archery at the rec center for the next 4 Saturdays. So we're not going to be able to make it, but maybe some other people can make it. So
yeah, I'll try and put it on our Facebook, just saying, hey, this event's happening, and just push it through our social medias and try and get you some people to show up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun shoot. Yeah, yes, there are lots of compound guys. All the distances are marked distances, but there's usually a couple targets out there at 60 yards, and then they put up something at like 45 yards for traditional shooters, but that's no fun. I mean, I go for the 60-yard target. What fun shooting a deer at 45 if you can shoot a moose at 60. Besides that, it's I mean, they're big. I should be able to at least hit somewhere on it at that range.
Yeah.
all right.
Well, if nobody has anything else, I'll say at a separate time, I'll follow up with John and Luke separately. We can kind of get together and just talk, be it whatever kind of shows up. But Janet, again, as always, I know I could speak for everybody in this call. Jim said it, Bob said it. We're all really thankful for having you, step up and fill this role for the last 2 or 3 years after Alex. Alex, thank you for setting the way for Janet, and then now the way for me. So it's nice seeing people that have served this club continue to participate. I think we've had a little bit of fall off beforehand, but I'd love for you guys to stick around and keep playing these games with us. And like I said, I got nothing but high hopes and dreams for this club. And if anything, just to keep it rolling, I'll say downhill. That's the goal. Get this club rolling downhill. We're not going to go uphill anymore. So thank you guys.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
I do have one thing, if I can talk for a minute.
Go for it.
I'm the field governor. You guys that are on the call that don't know, I'm the field governor for the TAO, which I work with the Fish and Game and our hunting regulations and stuff like that. And I know, starting with Alex, I've been bugging you guys for years for trad, work on these trad hunts, and I know we have been. But last year there was a deer committee that got put together in Southeast Idaho. I knew somebody on the committee. I tried to get some of our members here on the committee, but nobody was around and lived in that area or whatever. I think just us in Oregon that have seen what these traditional archery seasons or separate tags, these opportunities do for the whole as a community for bow hunting is awesome. And you guys already have a definition that's put in your state law that was put in 20 some years ago by you guys. So that's usually a big hurdle in a lot of these other Western states that we work on. Is like, well, they say, well, we don't have a definition and we got to go through legislation or we got to go through this to get it. Idaho already has a definition. So I know we got a lot, you guys have a lot of stuff to work on, but I would like to see that, worked on also. We're at a time, I know that talking to Jim, the reason I called Jim today about, I was looking at some of these, Montana has 3 or 4 areas that are unlimited bighorn sheep hunting, with a rifle, and they're on quotas and they shut down pretty fast, but they're in remote enough area that they can allow unlimited rifle bighorn sheep hunts, every year. And they've been doing it for 40 some years. And, I was thinking, where else in the lower 48 is as rugged and also has sheep? And I thought, well, I mean, the Frank Church, the center Idaho. And then I also know a guy who lived there for 21 years. And so, and I call Jim all the time with crazy, wild ideas. But I mean, just stuff like that. I know, we're Southeast Idaho last year. We were trying to get them to add it on to they were going to change 76 from a rifle. They were going to make it a muzzleloader hunt because your guys' definition is pretty primitive. And then we're also going to try to add on the rest of Unit 76 is a late archery deer hunt, and through all and you guys, we sent in a lot of emails, but the people in the committee were just kind of hemming and hawing, and it just takes work. I know it sounds like an impossible feat, but I mean, we were able to do it here, so I know that we can do it in Idaho also. And I don't know, who in your ranks would be interested in kind of taking some of that on, but if anybody is, I'd love to help them out. I mean, whatever we can do, let us know. And Jim, if you have anything to add on that,
Yeah, well, you did throw out the Frank Church and Bighorns there, and I'll show my age a little bit, but back in, I think it was 1987 and 86, in my first tenure back there. How old were you then, Alex? Anyway.
Infant.
Infant. I remember talking with Mike and Ron about the possibility of presenting to Fish and Game a traditional tag concept. And Mike he shopped that around a little bit, 1987, 88, that time period. And he was still, the regional wildlife manager there in McCall. But, the times just weren't right at that time. And we didn't really have any other precedents to look at and compare in other states and seeing what they were doing. Oregon didn't have any traditional hunts at that time. They didn't come until the 90s and with the Canyon Creek area. And then later after that was the Trout Creek hunt. But it just seems like there is potential for that. And like Bob brought up, with having a definition is huge. And that was one of the pitfalls, if I remember right, that Mike got into when he was floating that around. No, we don't even have a definition, even though the compound at that time had only been out for about a decade or so, at least its broad scale use in the mid to late 80s. But it just seems like the timing might be right. And I know in Unit 26 in Big Creek there where I used to live, Taylor Ranch, there has been in recent years an increase in the number of tags that are available. And, I'm not positive the unlimited concept would fly, knowing Idaho. I mean, there is an unlimited deer hunt there, but a little different resource. But it does seem like there should be some sort of a opportunity potential for traditional archery. And, that might be a high one to shoot for a first trad hunt or a first application of that definition. But why not? I mean, there's a lot of reasons to go for it that date back a long ways. Sheep eater Indians for one, and made the best bows in the West from the sheep that grew up there in Big Creek, and then also over in the Lemhi country. But there's just an incredible heritage that could be called upon for that. Heck, we got a picture of Fred Bear in the mouth of the Middle Fork of the Salmon, 1961 or two, when he was floating the Middle Fork, because it was considered to be the wildest place in the lower 48. And, we've got some things that we can call upon. to lobby. And I'd be happy to help work with that, and it'd probably be worth pulling Mike Schlegel back into the mix on that too. So that's all I've got. And there's a lot of other ideas. You guys, you're in sync with what's going on there now. I'm really not as much. So it could be it's something to do with an antelope hunt or who knows what. Deer, 39, which is, never had, to my knowledge, a late hunt. Has it? Or has it had a late hunt?
There's a late archery hunt in 39, yeah.
Is there? Well, it seems like that one's, I don't know, it would be a good one to potentially have as a traditional option. And then like our new hunts that we've got here in the northeast part of the state, the Eagle Cap traditional hunt. Just this upcoming season, we finally have the opportunity, if you have a designated traditional archery tag, that you can shoot a cow elk besides shooting a bull. So finally, we get a little bit of a bone thrown to us for using a less efficient tool. But it's just, there's got to be opportunities. It's just such an incredible resource in Idaho. It's just a matter of finding the right chord to strike on it, and it might not be as big and grandiose as bighorn sheep and the frank. It could be something smaller scale, but we've gone from what have we gone from, Bob, 1 to 5 traditional hunts now?
We got North Fork, we got Eagle Caps, we got the 50 tags for the Sandy Am for the extra 5 days. We got the
Powers.
Trout Creeks, and we got Powers. Yeah, so we got 5 different traditional archery tag opportunities.
Right.
And then Utah has one that just started last year. It's a limited entry hunt in the Thousand Lakes unit. That unit is traditional archery. I think they give out like 10 tags or something for traditional archery, and that's it. There's no compounds in there.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
But we'd really like to help other states. When we conceptualized the Northwest Expo, that was one of the foundational things, was to work together with various states. And really, it's a little bigger than the Northwest too, because Nevada folks are involved, and we hope it expands more to become more of the West Coast traditional expo. And I think it's important that we all help each other. We're all in this together, and we're a pretty small community, but we join together and help each other. I think we can be pretty effective, maybe surprisingly so, especially as things evolve, change with weapon opportunities, long range rifles, all these other things. I mean, we are a heck of a management tool because we are so non-consumptive relative to everybody else. Anyway, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you,
Jim. Anybody else?
We can talk more at Expo.
Any parting thoughts from anybody else?
I just want to say thanks to everybody. I've really enjoyed this. My husband wants me to do some other things besides traditional bow stuff. And since I retired, it's pretty much been my focus. So I'm not going anywhere, though. I'll still be around and come to the shoots. And
you'll probably get a lot more shooting in.
That's kind of what I'm hoping, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you all. It's been an honor to serve.
Thank you, Janet.
Your support. I mean, every time we had a shoot, people just came out of the woodworks to help and get everything set up, and it really ran smoothly because of the kind of people that are in this club. And I'm just really, I just really feel honored and happy that I was able to be president for the term that I had. And I'm really happy that Sean's going to be doing it now too. Thank you, John.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. We had a good turnout, and everything went as expected, I guess. So thank you. And thank you, Jim and Bob, for joining. Looking forward to seeing all you guys in less than a month. Dave Dewey, looking forward to your shoot in a couple weeks. But everybody else have a good night, and see you next time.
Okay.
Good night.
Night.
Thanks, everybody.